I had some extra time, so I thought I would make something. And this time I'm gonna make something for lunch. I'm gonna make a chicken pot pie. So let's look at the ingredients first. Cream of chicken with herbs soup, mixed vegetables, chicken, butter, crescent roll dough, and a pie crust to hold it all. And of course, salt and pepper to taste. So we'll start off with our opening up our pie crust. We are going to put our soup in the pie crust. And it doesn't matter how you put it in there, because you're just gonna mix it all up in a minute anyway. Note that this is the first time I'm using cream of chicken with herbs. The recipe just calls for cream of chicken, but this grocery store I go to is always out of everything. So next, we put in our vegetables. And this one does not come with the convenient pop top, so I have to open it this way. I'm going to drain off the water. I just don't have a lot of room for a bunch of liquid. Pour that in there. So I'm just mixing it together. If you had a deeper pie crust, and you can make your own pie crusts and you can make them as deep as you want, but if I had a deeper pie crust, I could add in something else, which is you can buy these potatoes. You can buy a can of just potatoes, diced potatoes, and you can put potatoes in there if you really love potatoes. So anyway, we've got that all mixed up fairly well there. So the next step is we add our chicken. So you can cook your own chicken if you want, and you would just use like one chicken breast or less. But I decided I would go ahead and use these grilled chicken pieces here. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to warm up the oven, 350 degrees. Then you wanna put just enough chicken to match how much, match the other ingredients. So you can see I'm not putting a whole lot. I'm mixing all this in the pie crust itself. I could have actually mixed it in a bowl. So you can see there are pretty large chunks of chicken here. So whenever we eat this, we're gonna say, oh my God, it has so much chicken in it. I can actually smell the chicken from here, and it smells pretty good. You just wanna get your chicken spread around enough that every time somebody gets a slice, they get some chicken. Okay, so for the last step is we're gonna put on our topping. And I'm gonna wear gloves. It's just a habit. I don't really like to handle food too much. Pop that open there. And the good thing about the crescent rolls is, they just come in strips, and you can just take them off one strip at a time. You have to find where it starts. Like when you open a roll of tape and you're like looking for it, so. Oh, come on. So I got my first piece here. I'm just gonna go ahead and take off the pieces first. This is very delicate. It's almost falling apart. Okay, so you just take it and put it down just like that. So you just take, you just cover it completely. Okay, so that means that my oven has reached its preheat temperature, and we're almost ready to put that in there. Because of the shape of these, it's gonna kind of look a little bit weird. See, it's not exactly perfect, but it doesn't really matter. This is, these are crescent rolls. These are gonna be really good, no matter how you put it together. And another thing you can do is you can kind of bunch the edges. A lot of times when you're making pies and everything, you wanna bunch the edges. All right, that's looking pretty good. I had some leftover dough here, and I'm probably just gonna put it on just some foil and just cook it separately as a crescent roll. Actually had 3 of these. One last thing. We need to add some butter to the top of it. So we're gonna take about this much butter. So we're just melting some butter, and we're just gonna put the butter over top of it. Usually you want to use like a brush, like a braising brush, to put the butter over the top of it. Or you can just pour it and spread it out with a spoon, like I'm gonna do. So you just take it, and that's gonna make this, you know, crescent rolls and butter go really well. Okay, so I have put it on a pie sheet, and we're gonna put aluminum foil over it, and we're gonna bake it for 20 minutes with the aluminum foil. Then we're gonna take it out, remove the aluminum foil, and then bake it another 20 minutes. My leftover crescent rolls, I have 3 leftover crescent rolls. And our timer is set for 20 minutes, and see you on the flip side. Well, the first 20-minute cook time is finished, and so I took the foil off of it and left it in the oven for another 20 minutes. And I also now have 3 freshly cooked croissants. So these should be pretty good. I mean, they certainly smell good. Well, it's time to take it out of the oven. I can't wait. Isn't the surprise just killing you? Would you look at that? Does that not look perfect? It still has a little bit of the butter on it. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes, and so we're just gonna cut in here. Some of you have, you know, like a spatula you cut with. I'm just using this plastic thing right here because I don't care. So let me just make a cut in there. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and exactly as you expected it to look. It's hot. Yeah, it's good. The top of that crust is crunchy. And that adds to it too. It's good. So that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed watching me make this really simple recipe. And join me next time for something else.